We're now going to continue working on changing position. Let's begin by using keyframes to animate the position of a layer. For this exercise, the first thing you'll do is change the clip position. The picture will begin off screen and then move fully across the screen from left to right. So open the sequence 03 montage. Scrub through the sequence to get familiar with the content. So let's see what it's doing here. Okay. This sequence has several tracks, some of which have their output switched off. You'll use those tracks later. Position the timeline panel playhead at the start of the sequence. Set the program monitor zoom level to fit. Click once to select the first video clip on track V3. So that's that one right there. You might want to make the track taller to see the thumbnails more clearly if you need to. Mine, I can see them fine. Once the clip is selected, its effects controls appear in the Effect Controls panel. In the Effect Controls panel, click the Toggle Animation Stopwatch button for position. Oops. The icon should turn blue. This turns on keyframing for that setting and automatically adds a keyframe. You can see right there. The keyframe icon is partially obscured because it's applied to the very first frame of the clip. Now that animation is enabled for position, whenever you change the setting, Premiere Pro will automatically add a keyframe at the playhead's current position. The position control has two numbers. They are values for the X-axis and the Y-axis, respectively. Click the blue number and enter position setting of -640. -640. The clip moves off screen to the left, revealing the contents of the V1 and V2 tracks below. The V2 track is empty at the current playhead position, so the clip of this fills the screen. Yours should look like mine. Drag the playhead to the last frame of the selected clip. At 422. You can do that. I have it on this one here. It's here. There's a lot of places you see it. Actually, it wants it at 423. We're going to enter 1920 for the X-axis position. 1920. 1920. The clip is now positioned off the right edge of the screen, and a second keyframe has been added. Play the first part of the sequence to see the clip animated from off-screen left to off-screen right. So let's see if we did that right. There it comes from left to off-screen right. So I guess I did it right. Hopefully you did. As it moves, the clip on the V2 track is revealed, but then the second clip on V3 appears suddenly. You'll animate this clip and the others next. Now that you've applied keyframes with new settings to a clip, you can save time by reusing those settings on other clips. Applying effects from a clip to one or more other clips is as easy as copying and pasting. In the following example, you'll apply the left to right floating animation you configured into the other clips in the sequence. Several methods for reusing effects. Let's try one now, shall we? In the timeline panel, make sure the clip you just animated is still selected. It's the first clip on V3. This one right here. Choose edit. Choose edit. Copy is one way. Or you can press Command and C or Control C. Any of those will work. The clip with its effects and settings is now temporarily stored on your computer's clipboard. With the selection tool, anybody remember the shortcut for the selection tool? It is V. Beginning on the background of the timeline panel, drag from the right across the 5 other clips on the V2 and V3 tracks. V2 and V3. So we want those highlighted like thus. This selects the clips, but the selection should not include the first video clip. So don't include that one, but have these other 5. And then we're going to choose Edit and then Paste. Could have also done Control V. The Paste Attributes dialog box opens, letting you selectively apply effects. Oh, excuse me. Command Z. I did wrong. Edit and then paste attributes. Don't just paste like I did. If you did what I did, go back and do Command Z and then paste attributes. For the purpose of this exercise, leave the check boxes with their default values and click OK. You can have only one set of fixed effects, so pasting settings from another clip will replace any existing adjustments you may have made. You should ordinarily review the available positions in the Paste Attributes dialog box carefully before clicking OK. Play the sequence to see the results. So let's go back here. Should go across. This one should go across. That one should go across. You can see that they're all going across and going off the screen. A menagerie of them. Good job. Moving clips around the screen can be effective, but you can really bring things to life by combining multiple animated animated properties. Let's start with rotation. The rotation property revolves a clip around its anchor point. By default, the anchor point is the center of the clip image. However, you can change the relationship between the anchor point and the image for more interesting animation. Let's add some rotation to a clip. In the timeline panel, click the toggle track output button for V6 to enable it. V6. Toggle track, okay. That button, the little eyeball. This clip is a title graphic created in Premiere Pro using vector-based design tools. This means it can be scaled to any size and will always look sharp. Excuse me, with smooth curves and no pixelation. Vector graphics work the same way as non-vector graphics. You can use the same controls, effects, and adjustments. Move the playhead to the first frame of the graphic clip. Which is at 113. Select the graphic clip in the sequence. The clip's effect controls appears in the effects controls panel. You see that up here. Because this is a vector graphic, there are 2 types of motion effects available. Graphics, vector motion, and video motion. So you see graphics and you see video. Every graphic and text layer created in Premiere Pro appears with full properties in the Effects Controls panel. This graphic has just one layer and you can see it under the Vector Motion Effect. In the Effects Controls panel, select the Vector Motion Effect heading. Vector Motion that one right there. And that will display the anchor point and bounding box controls in the program monitor. Notice the position of the anchor point and a small circle with the cross in the center of the title. It's talking about right there. Let's adjust the rotation property in the effects control panel to see the effect it has. Click the disclosure triangle to reveal the vector motion effects. Talking about that little triangle right there. Enter a value of 90 in the rotation field. The title rotates in the center of the screen. Choose Edit. Wanted me to click Undo. I didn't click away from it. Click Edit and then Undo, or you can do Control Z or Command Z. Make sure the Vector Motion Settings heading is still selected in the Effects Control panel. In the Program Monitor, drag the anchor point until the crosshair sits in the upper left corner of the letter B in the first word. Upper left corner right there. The position property and anchor point property control similar but separate settings. The anchor point settings control the position of the anchor point in relation to the original clip image. The position settings in the effect control panel control the location of the anchor point in relation to the sequence frame. Now that you've moved the anchor point in the image, both the anchor point and the position properties have been updated in the effects control panel. Talking about over here. In the vector motion effects settings, click the animation, vector motion, click the animation stopwatch button for rotation to toggle on an animation. So we click that. This adds a keyframe automatically. See over here, there's keyframe. Set the rotation to 90. This updates the keyframe you just added. Move the playhead forward to 6 seconds. Click the reset button for the rotation property, returning it to a default of 0. This adds another keyframe automatically. Play the sequence to see your animation. You can see that it started at 90 degrees and it rotated in as it got to right there. Wasn't that amazing? With careful positioning or even animation of anchor points, you can achieve advanced animation effects using the motion or vector motion effects. Guess what this is a great time to do? Save what you're doing, and this will end this video.